The Journey of Abdul Sattar Edhi, the Angel of Mercy. Introduction. Abdul Sattar Edhi, 1928–2016, was a Pakistani philanthropist, social activist, ascetic, and humanitarian who dedicated his entire life to serving humanity. He is best known as the founder of the Edhi Foundation, the largest and most respected charitable organization in Pakistan. His journey from humble beginnings to becoming a global symbol of compassion and selflessness is both inspiring and unforgettable. Early life and inspiration. Abdul Sattar Edhi was born in 1928 in Bantwa, a small town in the Gujarat region of British India. He was deeply influenced by his mother, who used to give him 2 paisas daily, one for himself and one to give to someone in need. She became paralyzed and mentally ill during his childhood, and Edhi cared for her until her death when he was just 19 years old. This early experience instilled in him a profound sense of empathy and responsibility toward the suffering of others. In 1947, during the partition of India, Edhi migrated with his family to Karachi, Pakistan, where he was struck by the lack of social welfare and the immense suffering of the people. The beginning of a mission. Edhi started his journey with a small dispensary in Karachi in 1951, where he began treating the poor and the sick free of charge. He had no formal education in medicine but believed deeply in service to humanity. With only a rickety van purchased with donations, he began an ambulance service. He drove the ambulance himself, picking up the sick, the injured, and even dead bodies from the streets. It was the beginning of what would become the Edhi Foundation. Foundation and growth. In 1957, a flu epidemic in Karachi compelled Edhi to expand his services. He set up maternity wards, morgues, orphanages, shelters for abandoned women and children, and rehabilitation centers for drug addicts and mentally ill patients, all without government aid. The Edhi Foundation, headquartered in Karachi, grew to become the largest volunteer ambulance network in the world, as recognized by the Guinness World Records. The foundation also includes over 300 welfare centers across Pakistan, shelters for the homeless, the elderly, and the mentally ill, homes for orphans and abandoned children, graveyards for the unclaimed dead, free dispensaries, mobile hospitals, and blood banks, international relief missions, including aid to war zones and disaster-hit areas. Values and philosophy. Edhi led a very simple life. He wore simple clothes, usually a gray shower kameez, lived in a small room in his foundation's building, and never took a salary from the organization he built. His wife, Bilquis Edhi, was also a vital part of his mission, running maternity and adoption services. He was known for helping everyone, regardless of their religion, caste, or creed. Whether Muslim, Hindu, Christian, or atheist. Anyone in need was treated as a human soul worthy of love and support. He often said, "My religion is humanity." Recognition and awards. Despite his humble nature, Edhi received numerous awards for his humanitarian work. Nishan-e-Imtiyaz, Pakistan's highest civilian award. Lenin Peace Prize. Ramon Magsaysay Award for Public Service. UNESCO Madanjit Singh Prize. Nominated several times for the Nobel Peace Prize. Recognized globally as the richest poor man. Legacy and death. Abdul Sattar Edhi passed away on July 8, 2016, in Karachi at the age of 88. The government of Pakistan offered him a state funeral, attended by thousands, including top civil and military leadership. He was buried in the clothes he used to wear daily, in a grave he had dug himself years earlier. He donated his own eyes, which were transplanted to 2 blind people after his death. Impact and continuation. The Edhi Foundation, under the leadership of his son Faisal Edhi, continues to operate and expand its services across Pakistan and even globally. The organization remains a beacon of hope and a symbol of what selfless love and service can achieve. Conclusion. The journey of Abdul Sattar Edhi is a tale of extraordinary compassion and determination. From a single dispensary and an old van, he created a welfare empire built on sincerity, simplicity, and sacrifice. He did not seek fame or fortune but devoted every breath to easing human suffering. His life teaches us that one person, driven by empathy and action, can change the lives of millions. He remains immortal in the hearts of those he served. Faisal Edhi is the son of Pakistan's most beloved humanitarian, Abdul Sattar Edhi, and the current chairman of the Edhi Foundation, Pakistan's largest and most respected charitable organization. After the death of his father in 2016, Faisal took on the immense responsibility of continuing the legacy of compassion, sacrifice, and selfless service. Despite facing enormous pressure and expectations, Faisal Edhi has upheld the mission and expanded the foundation's work in challenging times. Early life and background. Faisal Edhi was born in Karachi, Pakistan, and grew up in a household where service to humanity was a way of life. He observed his parents, Abdul Sattar Edhi and Bilquis Edhi, working day and night for the poor, the sick, and the forgotten. He spent his childhood surrounded by orphan children, patients, ambulance sirens, and countless cries for help. He attended local schools in Karachi and later took on administrative and field duties in the Edhi Foundation during his youth. Faisal was not a stranger to hard work. He started his journey as an ambulance driver, just like his father did, taking over the Edhi Foundation. After the passing of Abdul Sattar Edhi in July 2016, Faisal Edhi officially took charge of the Edhi Foundation. Filling the shoes of a national hero was no easy task. Many questioned whether Faisal could maintain the credibility, discipline, and scale of the foundation without his father's charismatic leadership. However, Faisal proved his critics wrong by continuing the same ethos of simplicity, transparency, and selflessness. Vision and leadership. Under Faisal's leadership, the Edhi Foundation has continued to operate the world's largest volunteer ambulance network, run over 300 Edhi centers across Pakistan, expanded outreach in disaster relief, particularly during floods, earthquakes, and health emergencies, provided medical camps, food drives, funeral services, orphan support, and shelters for homeless and mentally ill individuals, maintained adoption services and maternity care under Bilquis Edhi's supervision until her passing in 2022. Faisal believes in a hands-on leadership style, often seen personally distributing aid during crises, managing rescue operations, or working with ambulance drivers and volunteers on the ground. Notable relief work. Faisal Edhi has led the Edhi Foundation during several national and international crises, including COVID-19 pandemic, providing emergency healthcare support, burial of unclaimed bodies, free ambulance services, and protective gear distribution. 2022 Pakistan floods, mobilizing emergency food, medical aid, and temporary shelters for thousands affected by devastating monsoon floods. Afghanistan and Kashmir crises, sending medical and humanitarian aid to conflict zones, staying true to the Foundation's philosophy of cross-border compassion. Challenges and criticism. Despite his dedication, Faisal Edhi has faced multiple challenges. Political pressures, being under public and media scrutiny for statements or actions, including controversial comments during interviews. Financial pressures, managing donations and funds responsibly to keep the massive foundation running. Legacy burden, living in the shadow of his iconic father while striving to build his own identity. In all of this, Faisal has maintained humility, often stating that he is only continuing what his parents started and that the real credit belongs to the people of Pakistan who support the foundation. Personal life and character. Faisal Edhi is known for living a modest lifestyle, much like his father. He does not indulge in luxury or politics and remains focused on humanitarian service. Like his father, he is rarely seen in expensive clothing or surrounded by security. He believes in universal humanity, serving people regardless of religion, race, or nationality. He has consistently maintained that the Edhi Foundation is a people's organization, and he is simply a caretaker of its mission. Legacy and future. Faisal Edhi is not just preserving his father's legacy, he is adapting it to modern times. With the help of a new generation of volunteers and administrators, he has introduced technology, digital donation platforms, and social media presence to better connect with donors and the public. The foundation is also training new rescue teams, expanding ambulance fleets, and setting up more regional centers in remote areas of Pakistan. Conclusion: Faisal Edhi may not carry the same towering public persona as his father, but he carries the same heart, same humility, and same mission. Quietly and courageously, he leads one of the largest humanitarian networks in the world, proving that the spirit of Abdul Sattar Edhi did not die with the man, it lives on through his son and the countless lives being saved every day. In a world overwhelmed by selfishness and materialism, Faisal Edhi stands as a reminder that serving humanity is the greatest duty of all. Please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.